5, 6, walking forward. Not yet. Go!
Is this your card?
That is my card.
And that was awesome.
That was so awesome. I can't believe that was the greatest magic trick I've ever seen in my entire life.
Did you
I don't even think you could recreate that. That was so amazing.
Did you record the whole thing?
Just when you pulled the card.
Oh damn.
There's no way you could recreate that. There's no possible way you could recreate that.
That was amazing. It was awesome.
That was pretty amazing.
All right. That was awesome. That was awesome. I always love how not in sync we are with that. Let's never be in sync about anything.
I think our connection might be a little wonky, but that's okay.
Do you hear?
That's why we're not in sync. I can hear you good.
Okay. I lost my train of thought. I got another. People are texting me today. It's weird.
Take my Wi-Fi, please.
Did you come up with that on your own?
I did. I've been using it. No one laughs. No, unless you're like Henny Youngman. You're the first person that's laughed.
Nobody appreciates fine comedy anymore.
I know.
Everybody wants to hear about your penis, obviously.
Or trigger words or like pander, clapter stuff.
Right. They just want to hear that you're woke.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we're talking about season 1, episode 13.
Smother.
I got that right because for this whole week, I'm like, we're on episode 12. And I was wrong. We're on episode 13, The Other Smother. This episode was written by Stacey Harmon, who has worked on the Smurfs reboot movie, The Smurfs, The Lost Village, and writes for Cobra Kai.
What? Why does everything come back to Cobra Kai? When's Kevin Bacon going to be on Cobra Kai? The degrees of separation are just...
I was going to say, Kevin Bacon wasn't in the original Karate Kid. He was too busy with doing Footloose.
Yes. He was winning the hearts and minds of America with his dancing.
You know what Kevin Bacon's first movie role was?
Was it Outsiders?
It was Animal House.
Oh, that's right.
He's that great scene towards the end where like the world's falling apart around him, and he's like, "All is well."
I tried to watch Animal House a few months ago, and I couldn't get past like the first 15 minutes. Just the tone of it really bothered me. And that was like a movie, like if I could watch that in like in third grade, I was like really getting away with something, you know, because there was cussing, there was tits. That was like the movie back then. It doesn't hold up very well though. I
haven't seen it recently, but I saw it when I was in 6th grade for the first time, and I watched it so much I memorized every single line.
I had lots of friends like that, for sure.
To this day, I could probably still do like 60% of it. I think it just stuck with me that much. I watched it like once when I was in college, and I was still like, I knew most of the lines. I was like, cool. Anyway, this episode was also directed by Michael Patrick Jan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Let's go with John.
Jann.
Jan.
All right, John. Sean, since we're talking about great comedy, Michael Patrick Jan was a member of The State. Do you remember The State?
I love The State. Oh my God, it was on. I want to say it was on either Netflix or Amazon, and then just abruptly they took it off. And I was so pissed because I had just started like rewatching all of The State. Like, I think I watched it like the whole series like 3 times, and I was like, I need to watch this like 10 more times.
There was one character I love. I watched some sketches from The State. There was one character I love who would just show up and be like, I want to dip my balls in it.
Yeah, you know what's really weird is that my best friend used to say that ad nauseum when we were in high school, and I never knew where that came from until I started watching The State again, like last year or something. And I was like, oh, this is why he was so unoriginal. He just kept saying it it couldn't go anywhere. It's terrifying.
Michael Patrick Jan also co-wrote a movie that I think is pretty underrated called Let's Go to Prison. Have you ever seen this? It's from 2006. It's with Will Arnett and Dak Shepard. And it's really funny. And there's a part where it's like Will Arnett was framed by Dak Shepard, and they go to prison. And Dak Shepard tries to sabotage his time in prison. He knows like all the prisoners. And I remember because there's this one, I don't know why, there's this one line I really love in the movie where one of the prisoners is in love. Big black dude is in love with Will Arnett's character. And he invites him to his cell. And he goes like, "Would you like some wine? I made it in the toilet." And it pans over to the toilet and shows the toilet. I thought it was pretty funny.
I had a friend who went to jail for robbing places in my neighborhood. And when he got out, he tried to bum money off me. And he was telling me he gave me the recipe or something for making toilet wine.
There's an actual name for toilet wine. Did you know that?
I forget what it's called.
Pruno. Pruno. Like prune with an O. Pruno.
Oh, with a nice terroir.
Ugh. I don't know what that means, but that sounds gross.
It's where wine gets its flavor from, like the earth.
Ew. I don't want to know what earth can be found in a toilet. On a lighter note, let's jump right into the episode then. Our opening narration, I liked our opening narration was a little different this time around.
It was a little different. And I was like, what is a helicopter mom? And then I was like, oh, okay. Overprotective, hovering. But I was digging the Aquanet.
What is Aquanet?
Oh, you don't know. I used to wear it when I was a glam metal guy. It was like what grandmothers used to put in their hair. It turned it into cement, but you couldn't tell that there was hairspray on it. So that's how Bevy gets her perfect hair like that, is with Aquanet.
Right. There's a really funny moment in a future episode where Erica tries to give Bev a makeover, and she takes like the hair iron and puts it in her hair, and it just comes out like a tumbleweed.
Yes. I actually fast forwarded. Remember when I saw the wrong episode? Yeah, I saw that episode actually.
Okay. I also want to point out, before we talk about the episode in detail, this is the first time we hear Bev referred to as a smother. That's a big thing. Adam likes to refer to his mom as a smother. But the opening narration, instead of being back in the 80s, which is what we've gotten used to, it's "This is my mom, the shoulder-padded warrior, and she was the original smother." I disagree. I'm sure there were other Smothers. In fact, there were the Smother brothers. I'm sure the Smother brothers had a smother of a mother.
And Steve Martin wrote for the Smothers Brothers. And I'm reading Steve Martin's book right now, and it is depressing.
Is it Born Standing Up?
Huh?
Born Standing Up? Is that the name? That's a classic. That's a good book.
Yeah. Way too many similarities between his father and my stepfather. Ugh. Dude, apparently you have to have like a really bad relationship with your father to be a good stand-up, unless you're Sarah Silverman.
And I know. I was actually talking to a friend today. I just started writing it takes a while before you get personal, I think, as a comedian. But like all of a sudden, I just started coming with this steady stream of like my dad was an asshole bit, and they did my best stuff. I had a pretty bad relationship with my father. I still have a bad relationship with my father.
Yeah, I kind of want to tell my biological father to go fuck himself.
Was he not around?
Oh yeah, it disappeared he was like a magician, just gone.
Speaking of magicians, was this your card?
That was my card. The
Oh
second
my God.
card. How'd you do that? Fuck, dude. You're like in league with the devil. Steve Martin worked for years as in a magic shop in Disneyland. How creepy is that?
I thought you were going to say Steve Martin worked for the devil for years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he sold the soul to the devil.
Oh, I think Steve Martin is hilarious and would have gotten famous if he hadn't struck a deal with the devil. He is a funny dude. Funny dude. So I love all the ways that Bev is shown to be a smother. She busts in on Adam and helps him brush his teeth in circles.
Little snuggle bug. Make a bunny face.
My favorite, though, is definitely when she busts in on Erica's sleepover and says, last one to fall asleep, or first one to fall asleep gets their bra frozen.
I had to look at it. Okay, I had to look up so much stuff for this episode. Apparently, that is actually a prank, but it doesn't work well because you're supposed to take somebody's bra while they're sleeping out of their purse and then put it back in their purse before they know it, and then they put on the frozen bra on their tits. But it has to be extremely well orchestrated.
That's got to be nice in the summer.
Yeah, and how would you not know it was frozen before?
If it was like last week New York City and somebody froze my bra and I walk outside with a frozen bra, I'd be like, thank you. This is nice. I appreciate this.
Or your jockstrap.
Yeah. Also, you're just going home after the sleepover, I assume. You could just not wear the bra. Right? I don't know. I think our arena is not female anatomy. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Speaking of frozen bras, you were frozen there for a second.
Oh,
we're gonna work through this together.
We're gonna get
as friends.
I did another magic trick while I was frozen. You missed it.
Was it the one with the aardvark?
It was. I was like, is this your
my
aardvark?
favorite trick? God damn it!
Is this your aardvark?
Where'd you get that aardvark during a pandemic?
At the
aardvark store, of course. Aardvark stores are open for drop off, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Can we talk about sleepovers in the 80s? What were they like?
Really creepy. I went to one and these guys insisted on playing like strip poker. This was like third grade. Like they wanted to see some Sean Schwanz.
And you were like, yes.
Well, they put on like 2 tons of clothes, and I was like, I'm not going to put on a bunch of clothes. This is stupid. They're like, you should put on a bunch of clothes.
This is probably going to be inappropriate for the podcast, but one of the last sleepovers I went to, we all watched South Park. Like South Park was the big thing when we were growing up, and there was this episode. You ever watch South Park?
Oh yeah, every episode.
Do you remember the one where they go to Aspen and Cartman gave Butters a Hitler? You shove your thumb up your ass, and then you wipe the shit. And we just kept trying to do this to each other the whole sleepover. We're running around shoving our thumbs up our ass and like trying to press it on each other's noses.
That's fucking horrible.
I think one time I woke up and I had it didn't work. I woke up and I had my hand in a bowl of water, and I didn't pee.
Nah, you don't pee. We went around egging people's houses. I don't know why we egg people's houses. It was always like the hot girl's house. Like, why would you egg the hot girl's house?
Get her attention?
Yeah, we did. We got in trouble.
And then she smothers Barry at school. She gives him the jockstrap.
Oh, man. To protect your special spot.
I had a question. In episode 10, Shopping, Bev got Barry the black jockstrap. What happened to the black jockstrap? Why does he need this white jockstrap that has a huge cut, by the way? What is Barry packing?
Was he doing soccer? Maybe the uniform was white. Well, she sure does seem to think about his cock and balls a lot.
There's another weird Oedipal moment in this episode. I don't know if you caught it.
It's all over the place. I caught everything in this episode. It was disturbing.
I love this show because it's so innocent, but every time we do this podcast, ever since we've done this podcast, I keep going like, what is going on between Bev and Barry right now?
Yeah, it's the Greg Brady and yeah, it's bad. But I do love the plaid Power Mom jacket that she breaks out with the brooch and the tie when we see her next.
Oh, there's some fashion in this episode. I hope you address all of it. There's some heavy fashion. This is a Bev fashion heavy episode.
It is super.
This episode has all the makings of a solid Goldbergs episode. So we're going to talk about all of them. So at the college fair, it's a college fair at the high school, and Bev's deciding, I want to say this right, we're deciding where to send Erica to college. She could go to Drexel. But she doesn't
Drexel
wanna go to
just
Drexel.
sounds like a terrible school. Just Drexel. It's like just a step above DeVry.
No, Drexel is a legitimately good school in Pennsylvania. I think I had a friend who went to law school
I
there.
feel like I know somebody who went there. I don't know, but it just sounds weird. It sounds like a Acme school or something.
Acme. I see what you mean. I don't know if they had those technical schools in the 80s. Did they? Did they have like a DeVry or Phoenix or Trump
Oh
University?
yeah, definitely DeVry.
Were those like cool commercials too? Like, hey, I was a college dropout and then I went to DeVry, and now I still
started
don't have a
my
job.
technical career at DeVry. Now I'm a graduate. Yeah, it was a lot of like damaged people.
Nobody taught you how to act.
Why don't you go to acting school at your local community college?
so Bear. I love this whole little sequence here where Barry finds out. Bev says, "You're gonna want to go to school in Hawaii," and Barry goes, "There's school in Hawaii," and then we get a Barry run with the arms, and I'm wondering where in the hell is Barry going?
How did they get a school on an island?
Yeah, I love the image of like Barry just thinking like schools. They pick schools up and put them on an island. Like they drop it in with a helicopter. That was my thinking. And then we meet Betsy Rubenstone.
The other Smother.
The other Smother. The better Bev.
Dun,
I wrote
dun,
the better
dun.
Bev. We all said other Smother. I wrote better Bev. Just saying. Sending her kid to Yale. And that sophomore son of hers is going to run for treasurer. Got the lead role in the school play. I forget, I'm blanking on what the school play was, but he got the lead role but couldn't do it.
Because he was so busy. Yeah. But let's rewind for 1 second. There was one shot of her daughter and Karen. She was hot as fuck.
I didn't see that. I missed that.
Hot.
Oh, that's your triglyceride.
It's my triglycerides coming out. I'm really, really hoping that the girl who played Karen was one of those older girls who looks young. Because it's bad. But it was such a split second.
Doesn't it suck like being like perverted in the future? Or like you just hope your future pervert, or like, you know what I mean? Like you're like, God, I hope she's 18 or else I'm a pervert.
I was reading the George Burns book, and a lot of his jokes were about girls being really young. It was really weird. It was really like bizarre. He
What a time to be alive.
He dated a lot of young girls.
I think you told me that.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
We get this little. I love this little cut to the science fair too.
Yeah.
That I love the little pixelated. We see a few of the little pixelated sign that's the future, like the 80s pixelated. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like that, like 80s pixelated type. We see that.
And Bev is holding a sign that says "Worms. What's their deal?"
You know what I wrote about that? Here's my little note on that little sign. Barry's worms equal Jerry Seinfeld. Worms? What's the deal?
Oh yeah, totally.
I wonder what the punchline. I want to know what Barry's project was. What was his project? It was just like a bunch of tubes.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was Bing Bang Boom. It was really quick. I couldn't figure that one out either.
Anyway, so we flash back to reality, and we find out that Hawaii University. Barry finds the Hawaii University brochure, so we know where he ran somewhere, got the Hawaii college brochure. Hawaii University accepts Americans.
Well, thankfully, because I mean, if they only accepted Hawaiians, they wouldn't have much of a school.
No, they wouldn't, because Hawaii is surrounded by sharks,
Sure.
as Bev points out.
Oh, and
Can we take a second to construct what the it's an island where they helicopter drop a school around shark-infested water that accepts actual Americans. That doesn't belong to America, apparently. Good luck at Drexel, Erica. That's my advice to you. But we find out that Barry's also a founding member of the Beatbox Club.
Oh my God. Every time he beatboxes is so embarrassing. It like gives me the shivers.
Troy Gentile is actually like a pretty good rapper. And I think it's just so funny that they make him not that way.
He's not that way.
His beatboxing was terrible. I think it was boom, boom.
Yes, it makes me want to commit suicide.
And they found, and they're not established because they would be sellouts if they were.
But she was also telling somebody that he has a sense of humor, which is a commodity in today's economy or something. There were a lot of weird non sequiturs that she was throwing out today this time. It was hard to keep track sometimes.
The weirdest of all is that she wants Barry to run for school treasurer. Unopposed.
Unopposed. He does nothing and automatically wins.
And he does a little wheeling and dealing. He'll do it for $8 and to eat dinner in front of the TV tonight. And then he says, "I love politics."
It's like they're bartering for like oral sex. It's just there's this weird like, well, if I do this, what do I get out of it? Like, do I get a blowjob out of it? It's just, it always has that tone.
Sean, there is a very, very creepy Oedipal moment later. I can't wait to point it out to you. I hope you noticed it.
I'm sure. They bother me.
But then we get the video store. Adam and Murray go to the video store.
Sick Boba Fett cardboard cutout.
C-3PO cardboard cutout too.
Oh yeah.
Right in frame. Yeah, the Boba Fett one takes a little noticing. I saw it. Was that your Boba Fett you were just doing?
No, I was just itching my nose. I think that means I'm going to get in a fight soon.
Uh-oh. Tell us about video stores.
Don't go behind the curtain. I worked at a video store called Video Library, which was owned by a family, a really bizarre rich family, husband and wife and their son, who I'm pretty sure was a virgin. We didn't have a curtain. We had the actual videos out on this landing where anybody could just walk up and start looking at the covers of the and it was very astute. Like if someone already rented the movie, you were fucked. Like if it was a popular movie, but you couldn't wait by the return bin, but people would wait to see if somebody returned the movie they wanted. And then if you walked carrying all these videos around, you would tell people they had to wait till you put them on the wall. And it was like a feeding frenzy.
What was like the popular movie? Do you remember like a specific movie like that?
Dirty Dancing.
What?
Oh my God, dude.
Still haven't seen it.
Home Alone.
That was a big one.
What's the Corey Feldman terrible movie?
License to Drive? No.
Yes. Yeah, that was huge.
Wait, was that Corey Feldman or the other Corey? I don't know.
I think there was like E.T.
I don't remember. One of them's dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, people would hover around you like vultures. It was one of the most bizarre jobs I've ever had my entire life, for sure.
Did you hear what Adam Goldberg said about the video store? You're going to like it. Okay. Adam said about the video store, it was the video store and it was awesome. Does that sound familiar?
That's vaguely.
It's the title of our show.
Someone may have mentioned that before, and it might have been you.
It's the title of our podcast. Now you know why I named it, and that was awesome.
Because
he says it a lot.
Because of that moment in the video store.
No, he says it. They say it a lot. He says it a lot throughout the series. He says something about the '80s, and then he says, "And it was awesome."
Yeah, we said awesome way too much. I still say awesome way too much.
I still say awesome too. I don't think awesome ever went out of style. And did you know? Did you notice some of the videos on the shelves? There were some weird ones. This is a really weird video store. So under Action, Adam's looking for Temple of Doom. Under Action are like 5 DVDs for Fright or VHSs for Fright Night. This horror movie from the early '80s.
God, I hated that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I love horror. I haven't seen that one yet. Pirates of Penzance.
Yes, that was weird.
Wait, was that a real movie? Like, I know it's an opera.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a movie.
And then one of them was a Bela Lugosi. I couldn't see the title. It was like Monster and the Beauty or something, like Bride of the Beauty. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It was like an old like bloodbath film.
Right. So again, Adam's looking. And then there's this movie called Pulse. It just said Pulse. Did you see that? It was really weird.
I was trying to keep up. I was taking so many notes I could barely even keep up.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was just like these two VHSs called Pulse, one right next to each other. But I thought the weird one was definitely the Fright Night was everywhere, and it was under Action. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, that was a big movie, and I think it was Richard Benjamin. I think was the star of that. No. It was the other guy who I don't like, who was in Princess Bride.
Carrie Elways?
He was the king.
Oh. No, that's not right. Engelbert Humperdinck? No, wait, his name is Humperdinck in the movie.
Yeah, Humperdinck.
Oh, I don't know. I always thought the name Engelbert Humperdinck was.
I like Humperdinck better.
Humperdinck. So Adam is really looking for Temple of Doom. I went on a little deep dive for the VHS of Temple of Doom. You want to hear this? Want to hear some of this cool stuff? It's not very long. So Temple of Doom, the movie, came out in 1984. It wasn't released until VHS until Christmas of 1986. And it went for retail of $29.95. And it held a then record of 1.4 million units sold. Who are these rich people who bought the $30 Temple of Doom VHS?
Well, see, the weird thing was, we'll later find out, is that it cost the video place $60 when it came out because the movie people knew that they were going to make all this money off the rental. So they would only sell the videos for rental places first. You couldn't even buy the movie unless you stole it from a video place for like the first month or two of release on the video.
Wait, what?
Okay, say Temple of Doom came out.
Okay.
And then it was released on video. They would only sell it to the video stores. You couldn't buy it as a consumer. You could only rent it through your video place for like the first 2 or 3 months. And then you could buy it for $30, but the video rental place had to buy it for $60 because the movie companies knew that they were going to make a shit ton of money off of the rental.
That's why it took almost more than 2 years for Temple of Doom to come out on VHS. That makes sense. I'm sitting here wondering, like, why did it take so long for Temple of Doom to come out? Almost in 1987, like almost 3 years after the movie came out, it finally comes out on VHS. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Did it really take that long to make one, or?
I think I remember when it finally came out on VHS. I think my mom bought it. Like, it was a big deal.
Well, the first Indiana Jones is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Definitely.
Temple of Doom is a very memorable but a big disappointment.
Did you ever see that documentary about the kids who made the shot-for-shot Indiana Jones movie?
No, I think I've heard of it, though.
So cute.
There's one with Rambo.
They built all these sets, and they recreated everything shot for shot, like in their yard and in their basement. It's so good.
There's an episode of the Goldbergs about that.
Oh, so tight.
That was the bootleg back in the 80s. Was people did shot for shot remakes.
Yep.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk to you about that now. And I love some of the stuff in the. I love when Murray recommends that Adam get Rhinestone. Do you remember Rhinestone?
I don't think I've ever seen that. I couldn't do it. Like, it's just, I was raised on Rambo and fucking Rocky. I can't fucking do that. No.
I never thought there would be so many Rhinestone references in a half hour of anything.
Yeah, it was odd.
And for those of you who don't know, Rhinestone is, I believe it's about Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton, and Stallone's trying to be a country singer.
Oh, wait, you know what? I actually did see that. I think I saw it at the drive-in with my mom. I think it was part of a triple drive-in thing, and it was like the last thing in it. I think we may have left halfway through it.
Do you remember the first two were?
Probably like I don't know, the second Exorcist or something.
Oh.
We always watched a lot of horror movies at the drive-in.
Well, I think the most horrific movie of that night would have been Sylvester Stallone trying to sing.
My mom used to always tell me growing up how my aunt used to tell me that they went to see Stallone in a porn movie.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I knew it because they told me all the time.
Okay. No, that's a real thing. Stallone got to start in a porn movie. He was sold behind the curtain before he was in front of the curtain.
Well, thank God he made enough money to go support his first film.
Yep. So Adam's critique of Rhinestone is, does Rambo sing while he's ripping a man's heart out? I just want to say that would have been the coolest Rambo movie ever made. I love all the Rambo movies, especially the last two. I know you think.
Oh my God, the last one was fantastic, and now they have an extended like director's cut or something. I gotta go back and rewatch it. There's so many great Rambo parts. I can't even do it. My throat's messed up today, but yeah, the last one was Last Blood.
Yeah, have you seen? No, did you see the one before? Did you see Rambo 4?
Yeah, but it's been a while.
Rambo 4 might be like the best movie-going experience. I'll tell you later, but Rambo 4 is the best movie-going experience I've ever had in my life.
Holy shit.
And it really like bonds my little brother and I together to this day. Like that's the one thing we're pretty close, but like we're all, he called me during quarantine. He was like, Last Blood is on Prime right now, Reuben. You need to watch this. And I watched it immediately and we talked about it like for half the night.
Just for his hairpiece alone is worth watching.
You don't watch it for the dialogue. You watch it for like him shooting people.
I love the dialogue.
No, I don't even know one line of dialogue in a Rambo movie.
What was it? There, something about at the beginning, his daughter or something, and he's like, "Yeah, there are lots of regrets," or something. It was really like.
It's spot on, Sean.
It's so.
You are spot on.
I can normally do a really good Stallone, but I did 2 open mics today, and I'm like fried.
That's as good as I get. Speaking of good movies, Martin Starr plays the video store owner, and he comes back quite a few times. Martin Starr is always playing this video store clerk.
He's such a typical video guy from that time, just snarky like a barista. But I mean, I knew some really cool guys at like independent. I like going to independent movie houses, and they used to always recommend really cool shit.
That's how people like M. Night Shyamalan and Quentin Tarantino. That was like some of their first jobs, working in a video store, and they just saw all the movies and they started making movies.
I watched everything when I worked at the video store. Everything I could get my hands on.
Would have been the coolest job ever to work in a video store.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of video.
Have you seen Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal? Because that's what Martin Starr recommends to Adam, who wants to see Temple of Doom.
I think I tried to watch that when I was. I don't think I've seen all that.
You could have watched Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal or The Devil's Manners, which was Martin Starr's student film.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
And then we get another. We get a 2001 A Space Odyssey reference because Murray hasn't returned Slapshot,
which is such a great movie. I love that, and which was the influence for the movie Goon.
Oh, Goon is a cool movie.
Oh, that's such a great movie. Which is crazy. I just watched one of my favorite Paul Newman flicks called HUD, which a lot of people haven't seen, which I'm sure is where they got the term for the Hudsucker proxy. I'm going to warn you, it's not the feel-good hit of the summer, but what an amazing movie HUD is. I've seen it like 6 times, and it's just, every time I watch it, it's just like, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack.
I gotta see that then.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
It's
But
right?
it's rough at the end. It's just rough on the emotions. But Slapshot, oh my God, what a great movie.
Slapshot has all I remember, the Hanson brothers are extremely memorable. Slapshot came out in 1977. Famous for the Hanson brothers. I always remember it because it has Maxie Nightingale's it's all right, and we're coming along. We got it right back where we started from. I don't know. Every time they get on the bus and drive away, that's all. Every time I hear that song, I think of that movie.
Slapshot was super controversial when it came out. I remember in 1977. I think that my family didn't want me to see it, but it was so popular that I think I ended up seeing it with my uncle because it was so bawdry and like cussing and just like getting drunk and having sex and getting in fights. Like it was the edgiest movie of the year for sure.
Because Paul Newman says bullshit in it. What a simpler time you lived in. Were you surprised that Murray rented Slapshot? Knowing Murray now, like I can't think of another movie Murray would get. Maybe HUD.
But Slapshot, that was an old movie by that time. It was over probably 8 years old by whatever timeline we're talking about.
Did I freeze?
You froze for a second.
I'm back. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's he kept it around for a long time, and Murray hasn't returned Slapshot, and then we get this 2001 reference where Martin Starr says, "I'm not Hal. The computer's not Hal, who could just bust open the pod bay doors." And we cut to Adam, and Adam's like right with him. He's like, "I know you. I know you're throwing down," but Murray's like, "I don't understand a word you're saying right now."
Well, see, he also said that so fast that I didn't catch that reference. But yeah, that was a great comeback by Barry. I mean,
Murray has no clue.
Yeah, he had no idea.
But he could buy Slapshot for $59.99, and we'll come back to that because that is important, that price. And then we get our C story of Erica is so stressed out, and she's been lying to her mom the whole time. And Pops finds out about this. And we find out that Erica has been lying about being in Model UN on the swim team, doing Meals on Wheels. And when Pops is investigating her, Pops says this seems shady, and I know shady. And I want to know what Pops has done.
Pops is if he's rocking a brown Fila tracksuit like that, he's done some shady shit in his time. But that blue leather jacket on Erica, and she said, "Oh, she cusses." She says, "Damn it."
Oh, I didn't catch that. Where was that?
When Mom was home. Is Mom home yet? He's like, yes. She's like, damn it.
Erica's such a rebel. She listens to Bon Jovi and says, damn it.
But the hottest thing out of this entire episode was that pastrami sandwich that Pops was eating on rye with mustard. I was, drooling.
It looked so good, right? It looked it was like a thick pastrami sandwich too.
Yeah, it was for real.
So we also find out that Erica invented photobombing, basically. She just jumps into every yearbook photo that's being taken. But then up in Barry's room, Bev is sitting, and Barry walks in and says, "What's that smell?"
That's the smell of clean. You're free to start reversing the process now. She had some good lines in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Then she refers to him as a delicious boy again, and they're alone in a bedroom.
It gets worse. It gets very Oedipal in the scene, and it's when Bev is still trying to push Barry to continue to run for school treasurer because Barry wants to drop out.
Oh.
And we find out that Betsy Rubenstone made cookies, and Barry takes a bite and orgasms.
Yes, he totally does. And then to make it worse,
Bev takes a bite.
and orgasms.
And we get a swear of the week. We haven't had a swear in a long time.
Fuck. That is good.
Oh, yeah. Barry had left the room by this point, but Bev was... It didn't make it any less creepy.
No, it was one of the creepiest moments in the entire series, for sure. It was so blatant and so obvious and just, oh.
I think you're right. I think when do you think... At what point are we going to like see in the episode that these two probably had relations off camera?
Yeah. I'm sure of it. I'm just...
The Greg Brady, Florence Henderson thing going on. So at the school, Bev gets out of the car, and Betsy Rubenstone is campaigning for her son, but she has a fashion catch that Bev is pulling off that outfit.
For the most part. So catty. But I love that purple bedazzled feather Indian brooch thing that she's rocking. She's just killing it with that.
I thought Bev was rocking that outfit for all the part. I thought it was a pretty cool. She looks snazzy. It was
yeah. Plus those tight pants when she goes strutting off. It was hot. It was kind of a hot scene. But it kind of made me feel weird thinking that she was hot right after the basic incest scene that we'd seen before.
And I don't even remember what the point of this scene was, except that Bev wants to make sure Barry keeps running for school president or school treasurer. But anyway, Murray finds Slapshot, and he tries to hide it, but he could just go back to the store and, like, prevent Adam from... He's, like, trying to hide it around the house. I'm like, why don't you just go back to the store before Adam gets home?
But he has to say, if you never admit you're wrong, you're never wrong.
That's right.
Best line ever.
For someone who's been married to Beverly Goldberg for so many years, that's gotta be in your back pocket. He learned that from her. If you never admit to being wrong, you're never wrong. Jeff Garlin had a few good moments in this episode. And then we get the next scene. We get two sick fashion moments in this.
Yep.
Erica's sick Duran Duran shirt.
3/4 tee. Killing it.
I think she wins the cool t-shirt contest.
Yep.
So
I remember seeing that at the mall next to the Ozzy Osbourne 3/4 tee. Be like, fuck those guys. Fucking hate Duran Duran. Now I love Duran Duran, of course. But
Duran Duran is legit. Like, Duran Duran is like a real, like, they make like really good music. Apparently, they
were highly talented musicians, and I did not appreciate that at the time at all. Because if you were a male that was straight back then, you did not like Duran Duran, or you would have gotten beaten up. At least in Kansas.
Now everyone's just like you. Like, everyone who liked Ozzy Osbourne back then is like, well, Duran Duran's pretty cool now.
Well, it's weird now too. Like, I saw Brittany Brave do a interview with like a metal mag because she grew up loving Ozzy Osbourne with her dad. I'm like, what? Chicks didn't. I mean, the only girls that liked Ozzy back in the day were like just drugged out, like girls that I hung out with. Not like cool girls like Brittany Brave.
The future comedians.
Yeah.
God. Where was I? And then Pops comes in with this. I think this is the coolest jacket.
See, I'm completely on the wrong side of the tracks on this one. I hated his outfit.
You don't like the plaid jacket?
Now see, he's been shopping at the same place, getting these different jackets in the same style, but then he's rocking those brown polyester pants that are pulled over his belly to go with that oversized brown plaid jacket.
My eyes were up here, Sean. My eyes were up here. I was all about the jacket. I saw a jacket interacting with Duran Duran shirt. I think Duran Duran shirt is number 2 of cool shirts list. The number 1 is the Karate Kid shirt.
Oh, I have a tight tie for first later.
Okay, I'm excited for this. I think I know
It
where
was
you're
hard
going.
to catch. I bet you didn't catch it either. It was really subtle, really quick.
Probably not, but there's another. I have a good fashion catch too. I love this. We should just do fashion catches. This is cool.
Just do the whole thing on fashion.
Oh,
Dress up.
So Erica finally admits to Pops what she's been doing.
He's like, no, don't tell me. This is the opposite of what I want.
This is the opposite of what I want.
I don't know anything.
And then we get this really cool I want to point this out. We get this really cool transition where Pops is like, sometimes you have to swallow your pride and ask for forgiveness. And the next scene is Murray going to the video store to swallow his pride and ask for forgiveness. I was like, well done.
I also like the fact that she said that popular kids are never stressed out because they don't do anything after school.
Did they?
I don't know. I never hung out with popular kids until high school.
Oh, were you popular in high school?
I was popular in a weird way towards the end because I was such a rocker.
Am I talking to the popular kid in high school?
No, I was the rebel kid, but I was popular because I was a rebel kid.
Oh, you were the one that the girls were like, where the girls were like, who's that Sean Gibbs eating alone in the corner of the cafeteria smoking a cigarette?
Yeah, like Bender from Breakfast Club.
Right.
No, I hung out with, I was in orchestra. I was in jazz band. I played in a punk metal band. I hung out with punks. I hung out with thrash metal dudes. I hung out with glam metal dudes. I hung out with like the valedictorian. I hung out with like honor students. I hung out with all kinds of, I hung out with like super like gross nerds that didn't have any kind of hygiene. I would sit at the nerd table. I didn't give a fuck. I honestly, if I liked somebody in high school, I would sit with them. I'd hang out with them.
So you weren't the cool rebellious kid on the motorcycle who like rode up to the girl in the pigtails and was like, sup?
No, I was that guy too. I had a motorcycle like when I turned 18 and I was that guy. Yeah, totally that guy.
No wonder you were popular.
And I did drugs and I had long hair.
You were Luke Perry.
Yeah, and I worked at a music store and a video store.
I would have kissed your ass in high school. I would have been like, get me free movies and music.
Fuck yeah, dude. Why not?
That sounds awesome. Sounds like you had a great high school. Do popular kids do nothing in the 80s?
No, we did a bunch of drugs. But you know what was crazy is they do a little montage or whatever, a flashback of Erica when she's freaking out when she has braces. And she's such a weirdo, and she's so much like Bev, like control freak. And she's screaming and hysterical in the classroom. And Pops is like, just apologize and go back to being a weirdo. I didn't know that she was a weirdo earlier. I thought she was always popular.
No, you're right. This is, I think, our first glimpse into who Erica used to be. I think you're right. I didn't even notice that. We get a really Erica's backstory gets a little weirder. I'm excited for you to see it. But yeah, she doesn't want to be Senegal in the UN. She wants to be Libya.
Libya was not popular in the 80s. Let's just put it that way.
I think that's why Erica wanted to be Libya. She wanted to show that like she had balls.
That's
what I think.
Was it Muammar Gaddafi, Libya?
Oh yeah, Gaddafi was in Libya. He didn't die until like Obama was in office, but
until we bombed the shit out of him.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we fucked him up bad.
So in the video store, Murray tries to return Slapshot, make amends, but he owes $106.75.
And he also has a Spinal Tap shirt on.
Is this the shirt?
No. But I think there was another reference to Christopher Guest at one point.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, $106 in late fees and a rewind fee. And you're banned from Video Heaven.
No, you're banned from Video Heaven.
I'm not no, because I'm not coming here anymore.
Again, another really good Murray line. He's no your band. So Bev tries to campaign for Barry, making phone calls, and at one point,
canvassing on the phone.
That's the word for it. I couldn't think of it. Canvassing and even offering Erica as collateral.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, Erica is single.
She wore like a nice little shirt in this one too, didn't she? And Bev, didn't she wear like a nice little? Do you remember? I thought she did.
I didn't take note in this part, so must have been no.
Must have been no. I'll take your word for it. I thought there was like one good Bev shirt in every scene in this episode. Might have been wrong. And so we also learned that Bev tried to do the berries for Barry. Pretty smart. Those berries look good. Those are some good-looking bloobs and straws.
Treasurer is one of the most important jobs. So there is treasure.
Yes. So Barry's convinced because Bev tries to explain what a treasurer does. I still don't know what a school treasurer just handles the money, right?
Yeah. You just keep being delicious. Oh, God.
And Bev has the worst idea ever.
Oh, man. It's terrible.
She hangs up the sign all over school with Barry thumbs up.
Total nerd. Gross.
And who sees it? Lexi Bloom.
God, this must be the most embarrassing. Oh, it's you. No, it's not me. No, I'm not me. Or what? He said something good.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not me. Something like that. And so Barry storms into the house and fires Bev.
For being a bad mom.
And Bev says, I failed as a if you fired me, then I fail as a mother. And then he says, well, I fire you from being my mother. And so Bev says, I failed as a mother. And I think this is the first time that Bev admits to being or says that I'm a failure as a mother. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time we hear that too. That's another recurring joke with Bev, is that she's always like, if you do this, then I failed as a mother.
What a weird old grandma gold lame shirt she had on there too. It was out of character. For every once in a while, she'll pull like she had at one point earlier, she had like a knockoff Versace jacket in this episode that was just horrible. Oh, that's a little later. She had the fugly what's her stone said. Anyway, I'm way ahead of myself. I get carried away with her jackets.
But I did like, she wore the shirt, and I was like, I don't know if Sean's going to bring up this like basic creamsicle colored shirt, whatever it was. I was like, of all the fashion in this episode, I don't think Sean's going to bring this one up. But then you did. So that's pretty amazing.
That was awful. It was really bad. But it was funny. I mean, it was definitely a thing, I'm sure.
Back in our B story, Murray tries to make it up with Adam by buying him Pitfall, which I forgot to look up.
And he says, when his dad come in, I was barely enjoying my algebra.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's such a good line.
But Murray buys Adam Pitfall for the Atari, and Adam says, I have a Nintendo, and what's with the misguided gifts? Also, I wanted to ask, Adam's wearing this shirt that says Ladies Man. Oh, is this the shirt? What is it?
Eric Estrada. Eric Estrada from Chips.
Oh.
And like baby blue. It was so, I'd kill for that shirt. I would look like shit in that shirt, but that was a dope shirt. I remember my buddy in third grade had that shirt.
When's your birthday?
July 13th, 1971.
Okay, I'll get you the shirt.
It's probably not going to look good because it's going to be in that like 70s or 80s style. So it'll make the.
Oh.
That would be hot. It'd be hot to have the hat.
Was he the lady? So he was the ladies' man on Chips, Eric?
Oh yeah, dude. He was huge. He was a big sex symbol.
Was that your show in the 80s, Chips?
70s.
Okay. What was your show in the 80s? What did you come home and like watch every day? I have so many questions about the 80s.
I'm trying to think. I ran home one time because at 3:10 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, they were playing 10 with Bo Derek when I was in third grade.
That's not a TV show.
Yeah, I know.
But that is cool.
I used to watch Battle of the Planets, but that was a cartoon. It depends on what part of the 80s, though.
I guess before you were popular, when you had no choice but to come home and watch TV. When
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes, you said?
That was definitely a big one. I used to watch a lot of like Sanford and Son and Good Times and anything by Norman Lear. It seemed like my family would watch. Strangely,
Pretty
even like the kind of slightly racist part of my family would always watch. Oh, I'd watch Hee Haw with my grandparents. I loved Hee Haw.
These are all 70s shows.
Yeah, but you'd watch them in the 80s too.
Okay.
But like 80s stuff. Silver Spoons we watched for a minute. I hated Ricky Schroeder. I haven't actually given this much thought in a while. That's with Mrs. Garrett, Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Yeah, Joe and Facts of Life. Had a huge crush on her. Why do I sound like Mark Maron right now?
I don't know. I always like Blair when I watch Facts of Life.
Fantasy Island, I think, was closer to the end of the 70s.
No Hulk?
Oh, definitely watch the Hulk. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like anytime the Hulk was on.
That was a big show too, right?
Yeah. I watched a lot of Twilight Zone too. That's probably why I'm a weirdo.
No, you're cool.
What
happened to the video?
Oh, Three's Company. Watched a lot of Three's Company.
Oh, R.I.P. John Ritter.
Yeah, man. Fucking love John Ritter.
But what happened at the video store, Sean? What did Murray do? What was with his misguided gifts? And Murray sits down and says, "We lost her, son. She's gone."
We lost her. Banned for life. Who's banned for life? Me or you?
I wrote that's a good question by Adam. Like, whose life?
I could never count on my dad to do the right thing.
I know. Harsh words.
Oh, man.
This is like really, Murray disappoints Adam a lot. But like, this cut me to the core. I was like, that's a little much. You know, I can't trust my dad to do the right thing.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
So we're back at the school, and again, Betsy Rubenstone is still campaigning for her son.
I love what you've done with your hair. You make such brave choices.
This is where I noticed Bev's top.
This is the ugly Versace jacket. That's terrible.
It was like this rainbow, tropical. I don't know. It was very
terrible.
Yeah, it was really weird. I kind of liked it. I was like, it's very eye-catching. Her blouse. Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, it was like a cross between like a blouse and a jacket. It was the fake Versace thing. I've got it written down here.
And then we get this great moment where Barry bursts out of the school and we get our song.
Africa. Why did they waste the song Africa on this? I thought they would have.
Oh, they use Africa a few times. This is not the first time we hear Africa. Adam F. Goldberg knows what he's doing. I think, like, I thought, no, I had the same thought, too, when I first saw this episode. I was like, why are we wasting Africa here? But it comes back a few times.
Gotcha. I mean, that song was big for quite a few, like 13 weeks. I remember hearing it on Casey Kasem's Top 40 Countdown. And it was like 13 weeks.
It's Toto's only #1 hit off their 1982 album, Toto 4. And it had a resurgence a few years ago because Weezer covered it with Weird Al. A really good cover of it, too.
Yeah, it's weird, though. It sounds like they recorded it in their mom's basement.
Most Weezer songs aren't really overproduced.
No, but this sounded like they were on like a 4-track analog tape in a basement. It was.
I didn't get that. I just thought.
That was a great fucking cover.
Yeah, it was a great cover. And Barry bursts out of school because he won. He delivered this speech of how much he hates his mom.
Did you notice when they pulled a close-up on him? I don't know if they had like a... I don't know if they did this on purpose. He looks like he has veneers when it's close up. But when they pull back, it doesn't look like he has them. He looks like he has normal teeth. But I don't know if they digitally gave him like awkwardly straight big teeth in that scene, but it's really weird. It really, I was like, what?
I didn't know. No, I didn't notice. What I did notice though was Barry gives a speech about how much he hates his mom, and everyone gets up and applauds, including the teacher.
Oh, and then
yeah,
and then the moms start making faces at each other, and you can tell there's a lot of sexual tension between them too.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it sexual tension? They're really. Betsy Rubenstone gives like the weirdest like concession look. Like,
yeah, that was the funniest face. That was really good, but it was really. She must do improv. The other Smother. She seemed like an improv person.
All comedic actresses do. Maybe Wendy McLennan Covey got her the part because I've never seen this person before in anything. She doesn't look familiar to me. Betsy Rubenstone with her Yale sweatshirt. Erica returns to the Model UN and will even be Senegal this time. And before we move on to the very last scene, Barry doesn't spend. I don't know if Barry's treasury really sticks around, and I don't know if Erica being in the Model UN really sticks around. This is like a thing where the Goldberg will drop plot points and never like revisit them. It's not. Erica doesn't really do Model UN, not that I remember. And then Murray gets Adam his own video membership, and Sean, this hit me right in the feels. Adam gets up and hugs Murray.
Yeah, super awkward hug.
You think? I almost shed a tear.
Well, for the father, yeah, he's just standing there like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But then he also bought him, he prepaid 50 movies. So that was over $150. These guys are rich. I never would have gotten anything like that. Presents for me were usually like 20 or 30 bucks. One time I got like a bicycle.
Well, we learned in the post credits that Adam squanders the whole thing because
he forgets to put it's in the sleeve of the rocking chair, the lazy boy.
Yeah, they got to stop putting the videos in that sleeve of the lazy boy. Stuff goes into like a different universe there.
Now I want to go watch Rhinestone because then they bring it up again.
Yeah. Yes. So Rhinestone's going to be on TV. Pops is really excited for it. And then we learn that Adam is 2 months late delivering Returning Temple of Doom, and he owes $102.50, which probably really happened to the real Adam F. Goldberg.
Probably. It was no joke, man. That's how they made their money back then. Yeah.
Dude, I was at the last gap of the video stores with my generation. I was the last gasp of video stores. And even this episode is dedicated, or the dedication is in memory of video stores.
Yeah, dedicated to Hollywood Video.
What was the name of the video store you worked in?
Video Library. But I think we had Hollywood Video and we had Blockbuster. I think I had a membership to Hollywood Video too.
There is still an operating video store in Buffalo, New York, where I lived for 4 years, called Family Video.
Oh, the other thing about their shtick at Video Library was we had to wear black pants, black shoes, black socks, a tuxedo shirt, a black bow tie, and a cummerbund.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you were like a movie usher.
Basically.
That's interesting.
Yeah, every shift.
And that was awesome.
That was awesome.
What a great episode. What'd you think?
I didn't think I liked it until I watched it the second time through. when I started noticing all the detail work on it, I think I wasn't like committed to watching it when I first watched it. I think because it was really late. And I need to watch this earlier in the day. I don't know. It's not like a late night thing to watch.
This episode, I think, really like shows what makes the Goldbergs kind of light, like kind of great is like it's so light, like it, you know, it inoffensive, but like funny. Like I think you can watch it at. It's a good show to keep on the background, but also pay attention to. So I think at any hour of the day, is cool to watch this show. And I thought we didn't laugh that much. But I thought it was still a solid episode.
Yeah. Definitely.
A lot of fun moments. And Toto's Africa. And that hug by Adam Goldberg at the end really got me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was definitely a sensitive moment for sure.
All right, we'll be back next week with season 1, episode 14. You open the door. I've been Reuben Wolf.
I've been Sean Gibbs. Hopefully we'll still be the same people next week.
And we'll be awesome. Bye, everyone.
Bye.